Shout out to everybody out there on White Street. You already know what it is. Salute to everybody.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to SteveBussaGS. We got another scorecard reaction for you guys, and you already know what it is. Yo, huge shout out to LandmarQ. We ain't had something from him in a minute on the channel. Shout out to Warhive for the plug through Twitter. I seen the post and I hopped on it probably 60 seconds later. We right in there on this. I'm excited about this. LandmarQ's actually already got a verse in for the second volume of the DVD cipher. Salute to my guy. I appreciate you, family. Let's hop into this. Do me a favor. Run the gauntlet. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. The little bell notification guy. If you want to support the channel, the best way to do so is by joining the Patreon down in the description below. In the comment section, yo, who are we sleeping on? I feel like there's people like this, like LandmarQ, that we have some of his body of work, you know what I'm saying? Like we've just barely scratched the surface of, but there's a lot of people that we covered that are super dope that like we need to go back and revisit. So down in the comments below, who do you think we need to revisit? Who do we need to dig deeper on? I'm excited to do like an album review or something like that coming up soon. So let me know. My ears are open. I'm reading all the comments. Talk to me. Let's get it popping. All right, let's go. I just wrote a verse too, so I'm like super hyped. Like I'm in my rap bag. Like I got this joint coming. It's so dope, and I don't know what I'm gonna use it for yet. So like if I seem super hype and shit like that, I'm in my bag. I'm in my zone. My man's dropping music. I'm writing bars. Life is good. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. The neighbors hate me because I'm all loud and shit. Let's go, man. Something's Missing by LandmarQ. Essay. Let's go.
This place of wrath and tears looms but the shadow of the shade. Yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me.
People die every day, Frankie.
Under the bludgeonings of fate.
And you know what your last thought is? I never got my shot.
It will be total annihilation. Take a peep into the past. None of these insolent wannabe bluffers will ever last. This wolf, right in your cavalcade, gorilla punch the trash. Act in the war, use a gather with targets to take a blast at. So choose a battle, this one's gonna be mine. There's a pack of front runners, then there's the back of the line. Play your position. There's a son, there's a brother and a king, and then there's underlings waiting for marching orders to begin. Carry it.
Yo, let's go. All right, first of all, he's definitely hitting like a punchline battle flow. Listen to the emphasis bar after bar. Plus he did the whole lineup scheme. This was dope. Bring this back. You see my pause button didn't work there. I had to go and shift it a little bit. Let's go.
Cavalcade, gorilla punch the trash. Act in the war, use a gather with targets to take a blast at. So choose a battle, this one's gonna be mine. There's a pack of front runners, then there's the back of the line. Play your position. There's a son, there's a brother and a king, and then there's underlings waiting for marching orders to begin. Carry.
There's a son, a brother, and a king. Let's go. And then there's
front runners, then there's the back of the line. Play your position. There's a son, there's a brother and a king, and then there's underlings waiting for marching orders to begin. Carry.
And then there's underlings waiting for marching orders to begin. His flow is disgusting on this. This might actually be my favorite LandmarQ flow that I've heard yet. Most of his stuff when I've heard, he does this really good job of like putting verses together like puzzle pieces. There's always like extra shit. The longer you listen to it, you dig in, you find that the schemes continue from one part to another, and there's always like more to dig into with this. This is like the first time where it seems like, yo, he's coming up, and it's not super intricate. It's in your face bar after bar, and the flow. If you guys already know what we look for here, the flow where you get the emphasis on the bars like that, and they all hit and just stick like. Yeah, we here for this. This is what we look for, man.
Trash, act in the war, use a gather with targets to take a blast at. So choose a battle, this one's gonna be mine. There's a pack of front runners, then there's the back of the line. Play your position. There's a son, there's a brother and a king, and then there's underlings waiting for marching orders to begin. Carry your staff like a birthright on daily assignment from the days of John the Baptist. The kingdom suffers the violence, the brazen. Wanna take your children, women and men. It's blatant. There's a reason Satan didn't repent, but in the end, Babylon the greatest to finally fall, and the birds that eat the dead flesh just to finally call. You should wonder what's in the name if you be hearing the clack. Reconsider the game, stand tall, I got a lumberjack. Couple of things you need to.
Let's go. Yo, here's the thing, man. You listen to LandmarQ, I promise you, you are not going to hear the same boring ass rhyme schemes that you used to see. It's not the same content. It's not the same rhymes. It's not the same vocabulary. He's digging into rhyme patterns. He's digging into schemes. He's digging into vocabulary that is not necessarily like overused in mainstream, and it gives it this whole new sound. Like this whole vibe is just like, I don't want to say educational because I feel like that has almost like a boring connotation, because it's not that. It's a new flavor. It's flavorful. It's something to whet your palate when you're so bored of the same old shit. That's like it's, and it's almost guaranteed. I've never heard a track from LandmarQ that sounded like everything else. You know what I'm saying? Like, what, you've never heard these words rhyme like this before. Like, that's how, I don't know how else to say that. You never heard these sentences like this before. You're not going to be like, oh yeah, Drake just had that crows, vultures and crows picking their eyes out shit. Like, nah, you're not going to have that.
Flash just to finally call. You should wonder what's in the name if you be hearing the clack. Reconsider the game. Stand tall, I got a lumberjack. Couple of things you need to get your head around. How you take a foreign trip and flip it made it a campground. My real audience understand this is an ordinance. It's a wall of sound playing longer than a tournament. Coordinates right. On the path to the Nautilus, hearing earth, air, water, fire in an orchestra, playing in a symphony. Moonlight is soliloquy, gazing at creation as a marvel at its symmetry. They told me lies, saying the eyes are out of focus. Eyesight don't matter when your ears hear a poet. If everything was made cause the maker had a purpose.
Yo, the eyesight don't matter when your ears hear a poet. That's a t-shirt, my guy. That's merch. Put that on the merch. I'm telling you right now, yo. Like, that whole that should be like that's the bar of this so far. That shit is dope. Even if you're blind, I'm gonna paint these pictures with these words so vividly, it's like you're there. And you can't tell me that this don't put you. I need a Yugen Black Rock and LandmarQ collab. That's what I need. That album would be that everything. I don't care if it's a track, album, EP, whatever. That shit would be fire. Let's go. I bring that back. That was fire.
Moonlight is soliloquy, gazing at creation as a marvel at its symmetry. They told me lies, saying the eyes are out of focus. Eyesight don't matter when your ears hear a poet. If everything was made cause the maker had a purpose. Standing in the front of Pharaoh, rods became serpents. Many running circles looking for something to purchase, cause that's the only thing closest to anything to worship. Behind the ghost veil, virtual vice and curtain. Shadow of the truth, plain sight, certain. 9 times in my prime, see me shadow just slaving away. Wait. I got a call in the notes, said the ghost came out to play. The air's been cold, low light since the break of the day. Something's missing.
Volume's a little low here. It's the volume of this portion of the track is like so obviously or audibly low or different than the rest of the track that it almost sounds like it wasn't mixed properly right here.
Something's missing.
Like, I get the whisper for it, for like the melody or the vibe. Like, he's not a singer, you know what I'm saying? But like you can do that vocally when recording, but I still feel like the volume on this part should have been up a little bit more. Listen to like how this transitions from like the actual verse volume.
Just looking for something to purchase, cause that's the only thing closest to anything to worship. Behind the ghost veil, virtual vice and curtain. Shadow of the truth, plain sight, certain. 9 times in my prime, see me shadow just slaving away.
Yeah, that's my only real critique about the actual track so far. The volume here kind of takes you out of the aggression and the fluidity of the verse, and how just after this, it doesn't really flow well into the soft pitter patter in the background melody that his voice kind of like fell into right here, in my opinion.
Wait, I got a call in the notes, said the ghost came out to play. The air's been cold, low light since the break of the day. Something's missing.
I like what he's trying to do with it though. It's very vibey. He goes from the transition from aggressive to vibey is very good. Like, it sounds good, or like in theory it sounds good. I wish it was turned up a little bit.
Times in my prime, see me shadow just slaving away. Wait. Got a call in the notes, said the ghost came out to play. The air's been cold, low light since time, see me shattered, just slaving away. Got a call in the note, said the ghost came out to play. The air's been cold, low light since the break of the day. Something's missing.
I'll tell you what I like about this too. The fact that this was released as a single, but he's not sticking to like the stereotypical structure. You don't have like bridge into verse hook like you don't have that. This is very much so like my style of rap, to where it transitioned from the entire verse, lyrics, bars and shit like that into a drift off of melodicness. I would believe the placement of this, if this is on an album or a project, that you're coming from something that's probably more upbeat, more aggressive into this track. The aggressive, to aggressive is definitely going to transition really, really well. And then if the next track after this is something that's a little softer, a little bit smoother, they set the transition up mid-verse here for the next one on the project. This could be like a really dope center track for like the middle of the album. I like that. Let's put it to the scorecard. Let's see how much we like it. Let's break it down. I am a fan, if you do not pick up on that, by my excitement and tonality, and just straight up salute to my guy. Target audience for this? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Proper setting for this. I say this all the time. I know I didn't catch everything. There's no way you can unpack a Landmark verse in one listen to. A reaction is just the first listen, the first thing that you hear, you know what I'm saying, on the first playthrough. The proper setting for listening to him is definitely like, just like, focus. That's the only way I can explain it, is like focused. I appreciate artists like Landmark the most when I have my undivided attention. I can sit down, like I'm not listening to this while I'm cooking in the kitchen. I'm not listening to this while I'm playing a video game and shit like that. Like, this is the stuff where like I'm in the mood for some hip hop. I'm in the mood for some lyrics. I'm in the mood to see what kind of sneaky alliterations and shit like that we put into this verse and unpack it. That's what I'm looking for this. Ghostwriter, I don't have anything clever for you guys. Bars or lyrics, I'll tell you what, man. I think I'm going with he snapped on this. This is a 22. I like this one. I like the aggression. It's my favorite foe. Now, as far as delivery, I'm also giving him a 22. I think this is my favorite delivery that he's had so far. Actually, I'm going to give him a 23 for the delivery. Not only is it my favorite one that he's done, but I never heard him do that. Like, as much as the audio was, the quality wasn't perfect on the more vibey portions of this, it was good to hear him kind of step out of that zone that we're used to hearing him in and hear him try that. I like that. The beat selection was dope. 15 out of 15. I love the beat. Sound quality and mixing, I'm going to give it a 12 out of 15. I do feel like it took away from the track with how low the vocals were. I'm not going to harp on it anymore. 12 out of 15 is what I would give that. Effectiveness, 10 out of 10. Enjoyability, I'm going to give it an 8. Super enjoyable under specific circumstances. It's not going on a playlist for me because of that audio quality switch. It does kind of take me out of the vibe, so I'm probably not putting this on a playlist if I'm being honest with you. But super enjoyable under specific circumstances. Those circumstances are you're in a position to unpack a Landmark verse and you feel like sitting down and like digging into something new, something different. It's almost there. That last part where he starts getting vibey and shit like that, he could have turned this into a more commercial track with that. I don't believe that to be what he sought out to do with this. That doesn't sound like what this is supposed to be, despite it being released as a single. For what I think this is, if this is a mid-album type track where you're transitioning themes or you're transitioning vibes from aggressive to soft and shit like that, I think it's damn near perfect for what I believe as a listener that this is supposed to be. 90 out of 100, that's my score. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Drop down in the comments below. Let's talk about it. As always, support the artist and the original release. I love y'all, and I will catch y'all on the next one.